So one of the things we do, we shift our question that we asked. How do I get the child to blank? Is going to be shifted to how do I help the child successfully do blank? How do I help the child successfully blank? How do I help the child successfully finish their homework? How do I help the child successfully stay in their seat through this project that we're doing at school? How do I help the child successfully calm themselves down when disappointment happens because they go into a rage almost every time? And then with that question, then you contribute to the brainstorming. You ask the child to contribute to the brainstorming. Okay, so I'm in a school. This is actually kind of funny because I thought this was going to blow up in my face for sure. So I'm in a school, and they had this classroom that to get from their classroom to the lunchroom, the quickest way in the school was to go through the auditorium. So there was a door here and a door here, so they'd walk through the auditorium. But when you walk through the auditorium, there's these steps that go up on the auditorium, and then there's these steps that goes down. So this is, I think, kindergarten. It's been like 6 weeks or so, and at least every day you've got 3 or 4 that go up the steps, on there, and down the steps. And she's done everything. She's taken away, she's done all her rewards and punishments. She knows what to do, and now she's just crumbled into a pile of, I should have never been a teacher. And so I said, well, I'm in the school, and I'm like, oh, let me help. So I go in there to the class, and I talk to the class, and I go over the problem, and I ask them, now, how could you, as a group, successfully go from your class to the cafeteria and walk straight on the bottom floor all the way across from one door to the next? So I define that, and they start brainstorming. And the teacher jumps in, and she's brainstorming. They come up with a list of stuff, and then they're going to vote on the ones that seemed reasonable. Now, what they threw out didn't seem reasonable to me. And often it doesn't. But here's their idea. We're going to take a pillow from the safe place and put it on the step. And one person would carry it. And then when you come back from lunch, the person would pick it up. And at first you're like, oh, man. And I'm like, pillow on this? You're kidding me, kids. I didn't say that out loud. Out loud, I'm like, okay, let's just, we'll go with that. But in my head, it was like, oh, no. This is bizarre. So I thought, that's okay. In my head, I'm thinking, when they vote, they'll knock that one out. We're good. Oh, no, they all voted. It was the pillow. And so here we go. And then we add a whole nother job to the job, because that's the pillow carrier. And so now we got the job set up, and I'm telling you, they carried that pillow, put it on that step, and went on to lunch. And, I heard from her like 6 months later, and she says, great idea. So it wasn't necessarily a great idea. It was, I changed the question, the kids got involved, which is called shared power. They had a say-so in it, and that's what they came up with. And no matter how much we want to judge them as just craziness, it worked for that class. So that's why it's important that we change these fundamental choices that we make and the fundamental question that we ask.